Well, welcome everybody to welcome our special guest to Trade Genius Live. His first time. I don't know how we'll call that. We'll figure that one out. But this is my brother, somebody that I truly look up to. He always inspired me. The most thing that one of the most things that I appreciate about my brother is the fact that he saw something in me, being in his community, and he actually gave me the keys to his baby and was like, "Hey, bro, do what you're doing. I really love what you're doing." He reached out to me. He's like, "Continue doing what you're doing." And he blessed me, with being able to help the community move forward. And honestly, what he don't know what that did for me is, because I was just in there just helping him, just being Trent. But what that did for me is that actually, how would I say, gave me the confidence to let me know, hey, you're doing something good. You're on the right track. Your grandmother will be proud. Your grandparents will be proud. So I ain't gonna take too much time. We're gonna get into it. Without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to our fearless leader of the Inner Circle and the co-founder of the Edge Funder. So everybody, please drop some gems in here. I want to see a bunch of gems dropping. Y'all know Joovier gems, right? Let's get a bunch of gems dropping. And and we're gonna let our brother get in here. So welcome, my brother. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here for the first time.
Exactly, right? We got it.
How's everybody doing this beautiful morning? I know there's a little delay on it, so I already see some gems coming through. I'm excited for this.
I'm excited
This
too,
has been in
brother.
the works for
real.
a minute now, right, Trent?
It has. I've been trying to get my brother, but my brother, he's been busy, and I understand that. But we got him here. He's a very busy guy. Got a lot of stuff going on, and that's just shout out to how hard he works. So there it is. There it is. So well, let's get it going. Before we get into all things trading, just paint us a picture. Who are you? What does a typical day look like for you? Not only as our fearless leader of the Inner Circle, but also a co-founder of a prop firm.
Yeah. So first of all, my name is Josiah, or Joovier, as people online know me by. And honestly, a typical day for me looks like obviously waking up in the morning. I usually start off with my prayer, my meditation, reading my Bible, things of that sort. I'll do that for about an hour or so. Then I usually come on the charts. And how I like to start my days off is I'll back test for about 10, 15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes, depending how much time I have after my workout. And I'll back test. I'll then look over the charts as they are right now. And then I'll kind of get ready for the live call that we have every morning inside the Inner Circle, whether I'm leading it or if one of the other coaches is leading it. I'll kind of just get ready for that, hop on it, do what I got to do, trade, make money, hop off of it. And then at that point, it turns full like entrepreneur mode. So I have a lot of things going on, but when it comes to the Edge Fund, there's a lot of moving pieces that are part of it. Obviously, Scout Guy, which is the other co-founder of the Edge Funder, he also does a huge role in it as well. But there are things that I will have to do, whether on the back end side or just like planning out marketing and things like that. And that's typically what a day looks like. Then obviously I have a few other businesses that I have to work on, students I have to mentor, respond to, hop on calls with, meetings I have to hop on, interviews I have to hop. Like it's just a day full of stuff. Get into it, basically.
Bro, that's amazing in itself. The what got me is the meditating and reading the Bible. That right there is golden. So just think about it, y'all. Think about what he does every day, right? We know he's successful in trading. We know that. That's a no-brainer. But think about what he does every day. We talk about repetitive nature, right? So you're hearing it from someone who I would say he's putting in the work every day. He doesn't think that he has diamond hands because he has very successful in trading. He still puts in the work and does the same thing every day, and that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing, brother. So take us back to the beginning. What was the very first moment you heard about trading, and what made you think like, I want to do that? I want to do that.
Yeah, so it really all started. It was really happenstance. So my dad has been into Bitcoin now. I forget what year, but essentially back in 2016, 2017 time, there was something called a fork that happened. Meaning, if you owned, let's say, 10 Bitcoin, you would also get the same amount of tokens as something called Bitcoin Gold. So if you own 10 Bitcoin, you also automatically got 10 Bitcoin Gold when this fork happened. Now, back in
Mm.
2017, crypto wasn't like it is right now. Meaning like you can't just go on Coinbase and buy stuff. You can't go on Robinhood and buy crypto. It was more so like the black market back in those stages. So it was very hard to figure out how he can claim that additional Bitcoin Gold. So he asked me to do it. So he said that he would pay me, I think, like 200, $300 or something like that. And at 16 years old, I feel like I would have been Bill Gates with that money. So I had to research it for a while. I think it took me maybe like a week or 2 weeks to figure out how to do it. I was just watching a whole bunch of YouTube videos, trying to figure it all out, trying to figure out how to work the dark web at that point.
Right.
And I was able to successfully get him his Bitcoin Gold. So he was happy about it. I don't know if I ever got paid for it, but in the on site of that, when I had to do the research and all that, my whole YouTube algorithm changed. So before it used to be like a lot of video games, I used to watch like Minecraft videos or just entertaining videos like pickup line videos or like those little pranks and stuff like that. I'd watch those a lot, and that's usually what my YouTube algorithm showed. But after doing that deep dive into crypto, it's changed. Now it's about crypto and stocks and investing. Then there was a video that popped up. Right? It was like this old dude, and the video was how to make, I think, either like $200 or $300 a day with day trading. And I watched it, and I watched a bunch of his videos. It still sounded like Chinese to me, but it sparked my interest. That's essentially how I got started in trading.
Makes sense. Okay, okay, okay. Bro, that's when you think about it, that is wow. That was a segue. You didn't weren't even looking for that. That's a trip. That is a trip. It's funny how things like this always tend to find us, right? At least, like I say, trading found me. I didn't find it. It found me, and it's crazy how that happens. That's definitely an amazing, man. So,
Yeah.
a lot of people, how would I say, they dabble in trading at some point, right? What made you decide to like really, really like go in and it not really be a hobby? Because I know when you first found it, it could have really became a hobby. Like, oh, this is cool. I can do this.
Yeah.
But what made you just be like, you know what? I'm going in. And let me say this, because I know you were doing, prior to that, you were already big on YouTube doing like reaction videos and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So what made you just say, you know what? This ain't no side hobby. I'm going full fledged into this.
Yeah. So kind of rewinding back. So I watched the videos by that old dude. It didn't make sense. I tried it out a little bit, kind of failed. So I kind of put it to the side for maybe like a year or so. And then I stumbled on another video, and this guy had made like 13K in one day. And by then I was starting to make decent money with YouTube. So I was starting maybe like 10K a month or something like that. Just like decent money with YouTube. But 13K in a day, I was like, oh, that's that would be amazing. So I got back into it, bought a bunch of courses and things like that, and I ended up actually losing like $60,000.
Oh, wow.
And that, if I never lost that money, I probably wouldn't have stayed with trading. Reason being is because I'm a very, how do I put this in a nice way that doesn't make me look bad? I don't know. My ego is not one to get bruised, right? So my ego was hurt when I lost all that money, and I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna let the markets keep my $60,000. So I
I
just
bet.
wanted to make my money back, essentially. So I'm like, I can't put it into just I can't. This couldn't have been me trying out this hobby and burning $60,000. So I stuck with it. I had to make my $60,000 back, and that's what forced me to stay with it, essentially. Because like you said, a lot of people do jump in and out of it. I've quit trading like, I don't even, more times than I can probably count. But quitting trading lasts for about a day until the market opens the next day, and then you're right back in it.
That
But yeah,
is funny. You thought about quitting. I can't even believe that. Just me knowing you.
multiple times.
Really?
Yes, multiple. Trading is a hard skill. even once you learn it, it still can be hard. You can go on a losing streak and you could think maybe the past 2 years were all luck. Maybe I'm not that good. Maybe I should just quit. Right. So it plays with your emotions a lot. But what do? You wake up the next day, you get back at it. That's what you
Facts.
have to do.
That's that's what I preach every day, brother. That's amazing. That's amazing. To even think like this is something new for me. For you to think that you even thought about quitting, that lets me know like, bro, you all of just like all of us. We all
Yes, I
just
am human.
exactly, you know what I mean? Like, but let me say this. Bro, seriously. And I ain't blowing no smoke. You know me, I don't kiss no
Yeah.
butt. I don't do none of that. Like seriously, bro, I always just felt like you were special. There's some people in the world that are just special. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Yeah.
how I looked at you. Because to do the things that you did at the age that you did them, you're very, very disciplined, bro. That shout out to you, to your
Appreciate that.
parents. Shout out to your upbringing because that's where discipline, a lot of that came from. I know it was. And then
Yeah.
also too, let's think about something. You have someone as young as you were with all of that bread. Come on, man. You could have been in the clubs popping bottles, doing all of,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like just realistically speaking. And that doesn't mean
Yeah.
that you're a bad person. No, it just means that,
I could have went down
society.
that route. Yeah.
Exactly. But you were totally the opposite. You're like your demeanor, everything is just so disciplined, bro. That's just amazing, man. Like I said,
Yeah, I can tell you a little
go
kind
ahead.
of story about that. So I've never been a partier type of person, if I'm being honest. And I remember when I was like first started making good money, I called my dad. I think when I first maybe saw my first 100K inside my bank account,
Oh
I
wow.
called my dad and was like, "Yeah, I got $100,000 now," and it was just like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then I was like, I called him again. I was like, "I have $200,000 now, but I feel like, what's the point of me having all this money? Because I'm not into cars, I'm not into jewelry, I'm not into really nothing at all. The reason, really, when I got married, that's when I started spending more money. My wife is into all that those things,
Nice.
but I never was into uh, spending money or even partying and things like that. So I think my personality did save me a bit because, like you said, I was young with a good amount of money, and I mean, I'm still young, but I
Right.
was younger
Yes.
with a good amount of money. It could have went completely different. I could have um, wasted a lot of my money instead of investing it and not setting myself up. But I mean, all more power to everybody that goes out and parties, enjoys their life, has
Right.
fun. That's just not me enjoying life, and that has just saved me time and money.
Bro, that makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. Wow. So
Yeah.
let's get into let's talk about your trading journey a little bit. So walk us through your early days because I know that it took you about 2 to 3 years to become profitable. So what were you trading? What was your style? And honestly, how bad were your losses? Your first losses?
So I mean, my first losses were that 60K essentially because that's when I
Right.
first started. Right, like I was back testing. I mean, not back testing. I was demo trading for like a week or 2 weeks,
Okay.
and I remember I was trading Forex at the time because originally started in crypto. Just to answer that part of your question, I originally started trading crypto. It wasn't necessarily like day trading, how you'll see people day trade futures right now, but I
Right.
would buy Ripple back in the day. And I would hold it for a day, sell it the next day. So it wasn't leverage, but I was day trading the crypto. But then I got into Forex because I realized I could have more leverage. Now I was trading Forex and I remember I was on a demo account. And if you know anything about Forex, you know lot sizes. Think of lot sizes as contract sizes. So I was opening up like 20 lot size trades on Nasdaq or gold or something like that. And on the demo account. And it was going up like 30K, 40K in a couple of seconds, but that's like using 50 contracts on
Right.
NQ. So you know it barely has to move for it to do that.
Right.
So when I would see it green 14,000, 20,000, I would close it really quickly. And me not knowing that I'm using extremely large contract sizes, I just thought I was the best trader in the world. I was like, I am a natural. This is the easiest money I've ever made in my entire life. So that's what prompted me to put so much money in the live account at first and caused me to lose that 60K.
Gotcha.
So after that though, I really reeled it back a lot. Like I was back on the demo account for a long time, want to say 4 or 5 months after that, after I lost the 60K,
Okay.
because I really just wanted to focus on learning the skill at that point, because I had done so bad at rushing into trying to make money or trying to think that I knew the skill enough to make money. And this is why I try and teach people so much on my YouTube videos in the inner circle. Like, just focus on learning the skill. Once you learn the skill, making money is easy. Like, I send out trades in the inner circle, and you'll see some people, they took the same trade as me, and they'll post their profits. They made like $500, $600, and that's great. But the same trade, I made 17,000, 18,000. And the only difference, we took the same trade. The only difference is I just opened up a bigger position. So I say this to say, making money trading is easy. Learning how to trade is the part that you need to focus on. Once you learn how to trade, the money part and making more money is the easiest part. It's just changing numbers when you're entering into the trade. So I reeled it back. I just focused on essentially just learning the skill, perfecting one strategy. Now, I wasn't perfecting one strategy at that point. I think I was trading maybe 3 different strategies. I really liked breakout trading, because you asked me what type of trades I was taking.
Right.
So back when I was first starting off, I always liked taking breakout trades. Even if you look at my early reels on Instagram or YouTube, they're all breakouts of like market open or some high volume event, or just breakouts, period. I just love trading breakouts, whether it's trend line breakouts, regular support or resistance breakouts. I would always take those type of trades. And realistically, those worked for a little bit. It was a little bit inconsistent. When I really started seeing success is when I started trading support or resistance. Simple support or resistance with added confluences on the top of it, where I knew when to enter and when not to enter. And that's kind of the strategy that you see me trade most of the time on my YouTube now. I've traded it essentially the same way since I first started becoming profitable. I've made some few changes to it, but that's why I love that strategy so much, is because that's what allowed me to actually become profitable consistently, or more profitable. Because I was making money with breakouts, but it was fluctuating way too much. Because if the market isn't trending, you're not making money with breakouts at all. Absolutely. But with support or resistance, you can make money if it's trending, if it's consolidating, and all that stuff. So yeah,
that is your bread and butter. I would definitely say that. So let's see here. Were there any mentors, books, or communities that maybe seriously impacted how or what developed you as a trader?
Yeah, so for sure. When I told you after I watched the old guy's videos and I stopped and I watched this other guy's, I ended up buying his course. I have said this for the longest time. If you rewind back to like 2024 time, I've probably bought every single person's course that's in the trading space. Like, all the influencers that was popping from 2024 and before, I've had their course, I've went through their course. I was big on thinking that the more information I had, the better I'd be at trading. Now, I think it plateaus. You can only have so much information before you start the implementation that helps you to actually be consistent. Like, I'm still a student of the game. I still watch trading YouTube videos all the time, strategy videos all the time. I'm still back testing, but I realized that I was over analyzing it and trying to learn too much versus trying to do more, as in practicing more.
Right.
So I bought every single person's course. I've been in basically every community at this point. So I've learned from a lot of people, and all of them essentially have shaped, at least, even if it's a small percentage, of how I trade now or how I think about the markets now. So yeah, and then obviously just so much time spent on the charts has just molded me into the type of trader that I am right now.
And you still backtest like crazy. I want everyone to hear. You heard what he said, right? He said, "I'm still a student of the game." Yeah, I heard that, right? Now, backtesting.
Yeah. I mean, for me, backtesting has always been fun. Like, I've said this so many times. Like, I'll put some music on, I'll put my headphones on, and I would just backtest. It's like a video game. Like, if you like get into your motion and your flow, they talk about flow state now. If you just do that and put some music on, to me, backtesting is like a video game. So that's why when I first started off trading, it was easy for me to backtest freaking 10, 11 hours a day, because to me, it was just fun. And I was learning a skill that I wanted to learn either way.
That's amazing. I remember one post you put out. I want to say, I think it was my first year in the inner circle was 2024, and the post was something like, it was in the announcement section. You was like, I just got done. It was a Monday. No, I don't remember what, but I remember you was like, I just got done back testing for like 6 hours. Don't let me outwork you. When I saw
Yeah.
that, I was like, wow, dude, he put in 6 hours of back testing like straight, not in 2 days, in one day. In 6 hours, he did back testing. I
Yeah.
mean, it don't
I
it
mean,
don't
it's
get
fun
no
for me.
more, you know what I'm saying, better than that.
Yeah.
Wow, 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 wow. Okay, let's talk about some moments when things started actually to work. Like, what changed? Was it your strategy? Was it your mindset, your risk management, or even all three?
I would say the main thing, because for me, the risk management part was a little bit easier, was the easier part, I would say, because I was, I'd already lost so much money in the beginning parts. So I was okay with just like, let me just get good now. Like once I'd switch that mindset to just be like, I want to just get good. I don't want to make money. I was okay trading and making $100 a trade or something like that. Like I wasn't trying to make big money. The main thing that switched for me though is kind of the two first ones that you had said, but combined. So I call it when I had structure in the way that I traded, meaning my strategy was the same exact way. I didn't, if I, it wasn't that I was looking for specific things to happen and making assumptions at that point. It was if this happened, I do this action. So it became systematic. It was if price touches here and does this, I enter. There's no thinking when it comes to it. So I didn't even have to worry about my mindset for the most part because it was
Absolutely.
just a system. Same way you don't have to worry about your mindset when you're sitting down and turning on your camera. Like it's just something you do, right? It's just an action at that point that's
Totally agree.
triggered by another action. So
Absolutely.
that's the realistic thing that helped me start being consistent. I say this all the time. People want to be consistently profitable, but in order to be consistently profitable, you need to have consistency in the way that you trade. So you need to have structure in your strategy. You need to have structure in your risk management. You need to, and that's why I preach so much about having a trading plan and a system. Once you can have a trading plan and a system and you have a single ounce of discipline to hold yourself to that system, to just keep repeating that system, you can start making money trading. No matter if you're a beginner or experienced, like the part that takes people the longest to get to is just getting to that structure to follow. But if you're someone who can catch on really quick and create that structure, you can become profitable extremely fast. I've had people that have been able to start getting payouts in a month after learning how to trade, 2 months after learning how to trade. When in reality, it took me a very long time because it took me long to realize the thing that was holding me back was I kept changing, I kept having new things that I was trading, I kept switching strategies and things like that.
Strategy hop, one of our biggest killers for newbies, right? Just strategy hopping. That's
For sure.
when you don't put in the time to back test and you don't understand the strategy, you don't demo trade. That definitely will be a segue into, how would I say, strategy hopping. Wow,
For sure. Because you don't have confidence in your strategy. So, of course, you're going to switch.
absolutely, makes so much sense. Makes so much sense. Let's see here. God, you answered like a lot of my questions in one question, so that's pretty cool. So, okay, how did you know when you truly had an edge and it wasn't anymore like a stream of luck?
That's actually a great question. I've never been asked that before. If I had to, if I had to put it into words, possibly, it was a mixture of, it might be a mixture of two things. So backtesting does give you confidence in your strategy, but I'm sure a lot of you guys watching or you trend yourself, you'll backtest a strategy and then it performs completely different in the live markets. So backtesting can only get you so much confidence, no matter if you, sorry, my house alarm is going off. Backtesting will only give you so much confidence in your strategy, but getting reps in the live markets is really what solidifies that confidence in your strategy. So it has to be a mixture of both. Like you can backtest 1,000 trades of your strategy, but if you've never traded it in the live markets, you never know if it will actually work. For example, I think maybe 2 years ago, I was back testing a new strategy out. And I was telling the inner circle, or maybe 3 years ago, but I was telling the inner circle about it. And I was like, yeah, I found this new strategy. I think it's amazing. And that's why I have like so many different levels before I approve a new strategy, because you have to test on the live markets as well. But I'm like, the back testing is going amazing, but I have to test on the live markets. Back testing, it was the best strategy in the entire world. Live markets didn't work at all, because with the live markets, and there'll be certain things that changes, but with this specific strategy, because of the live markets, it moves way too fast for your orders to even get filled. So the strategy didn't even work correctly. So that's why it's important as well to get that confidence from actually trading it in the live markets. Now, again, it's a super hard question to answer, going back to your original question, as far as when did I know I had an edge versus it was a stream of luck. I think one day you kind of just look back and you realize, dang, I kind of been lucky for a year. So it's like, yeah, yeah. I think that's probably the best way to describe it.
You're like, man, I keep winning. I just constantly, I'm just profitable upon profitable upon profitable. That's
Yeah,
fire, brother. That's super fire. That's super fire. That is super fire.
yeah.
All right, let's okay, let's pivot to the inner circle. So what got in what was going on in your mind whenever you thought about starting the inner circle? And what did you, how would I say, what did you think you would get from it? And what was your outlook on it? Meaning, was your outlook where we are now, or did you think something entirely different?
So I got into my inner circle before. I had another community that was just like, I just sold education at that point, and it was a Discord, but it wasn't not nearly as built up as the inner circle is right now. What I wanted to do was build something that had all the resources that I wish that I had when I first started off. And not even just all the ones I wish I had when I first started off, but as I mentioned before, I bought everybody's course. I bought everybody's community. So I saw what I liked in other people's courses, other people's communities, other people's teachings. And there was always parts missing out of certain people's that I got from other people's. So I just wanted to build it all into kind of one space. That's what was the vision behind the inner circle. It's grown into something very much bigger than I thought it would be when I first started off. Obviously, like right now we have what, 4 coaches in there. We have the training psychologist. We have just kind of a lot in there right now. It's a lot more structured than I originally had planned, but it's just kind of grown and built from there. But I've always enjoyed teaching people how to trade. Reason being is I think everybody should at least learn it, even if everybody isn't a full-time trader. And that's why I make the YouTube videos as well. Even for people that don't pay to get in like any type of courses or community, I still think everybody should at least learn the skill at base level. Because even if you're not day trading, learning how to, or when you can buy a stock at the right time, for example, or buy a crypto coin at the right time, like that's such a valuable skill versus just buying it whenever. Like if you just know basics of technical analysis, like basics of drawing a support and resistance, you can wait for Tesla to pull back to $120 a share before you enter versus buying at all-time highs. Like you just learn small things that can help you out so much on just a regular life type of investment. Like almost every single person in the world will end up investing in a stock at one point in their life. So if you can just learn a better way to get in at a better time, I think that's extremely valuable. And that's why I kind of teach to everybody, even if you don't come on here to be a full-time day trader and trade the markets every single day, still just having that skill in your back pocket to be able to utilize if time, or if necessary, I should say.
Nice. Makes so much sense. Makes so much sense. I mean, there's so many of us are so happy that the inner circle is here. Because like you didn't have an inner circle, you didn't have a Joovier, so to speak, right? You didn't have all the coaches. You didn't have a scalp guy. You didn't have a Euphoria. You didn't have a Lazy. You didn't have a Canary. Shout out to my sister. So That's just amazing, man. And it's funny how you said you started something, didn't really know where it was going to go, and then look like what it morphed into, which
Yeah,
always goes to the testament of me always saying like it's always in God's plan, man. All of this stuff was all written. None happens by coincidence, and it's just beautiful.
yeah,
It's just
for sure.
beautiful, like for real, for real. So let's pivot to prop firms. So at what point did the idea of starting a prop firm enter your mind?
So it's actually a really, really a pretty funny story. So I've always traded live money, live funds, right? I've never
Absolutely.
been huge on prop firms earlier stages. And I would get approached by people because obviously I have a pretty big following on YouTube and things like that. So I get approached by people to promote their prop firms or even approached by people to build my own prop firm. And I've always said no because I was never really in the prop firm space. I never really I was just always into trading my live money. And I think realistically for everybody, I still kind of lead people. Yes, use prop firms, but use them to fund your live account. The goal is to be on your own money and use your own money. So how it came about is like I said, I've been approached so many times to start a prop firm, but then Scalp had approached me about it and he was like, we should start a prop firm. And for some reason this time I listened. I don't know why for this time. I think it was further on in the game. I started actually liking prop firms more. Now I used them a little bit at that point, but I was still mainly trading my live money. But um I was more open to prop firms and I saw the benefit that it had for other people because obviously in my position, I have had money like from YouTube, so I could fund my own live account. But I realized so many other people don't have that much money and prop firms are a cheat code to be able to access that type of capital. And for obviously, I had the inner circle open for a while and I had been teaching people for a long time. And I've run into the same issues that people would come to me about, where it's like they bought the prop firm and either they were able to pass the eval stage, but they weren't able to get a payout when they got past it, or they got a payout, but the prop firm wouldn't pay them out, or just a bunch of issues when it came to prop firms that I
Facts.
personally didn't like, but I wasn't in that position or have that mindset to be like, you know what, I'm going to go out there and fix it. I'm going to go and make my own prop firm and do it. It was only until Scalp had approached me about it and we talked about it for I think like 2 or 3 hours or something. He was, I guess, pitching me on the idea. And then, yeah, we ended up doing it. And I think it's been amazing since because it gives me the flexibility or us the flexibility to be able to kind of combat the usual downfalls that you can see in some prop firms. I'm not saying all prop firms are bad or scammy. It's just we have the opportunity now to ensure that the people that we have on the Edge Funder can have an experience we want them to have, meaning pay actually actually paying people out,
Right.
not having to worry about evaluation stages. Just the things that I used to get a lot of complaints about or I didn't like about the prop industry, we were able to have the flexibility to offer to other people.
That's fire. That's fire.
Yeah.
And I mean, think about it. Scout pitching you, like I know my big brother. I could imagine how that conversation went. He always gonna come up with because one thing about that brother has like always has like great ideas. Like when he comes up with
Yeah,
something
he
and he's
does have
talking
a
about
lot
something.
of he has a lot of ideas. I don't know
Yes.
if they're all great ideas. He has a good amount of great ideas, but he does have a lot of ideas.
Well,
Actually, just I guess a sneak peek. He's actually two ideas that he had for some new accounts we'll be having coming out that we're pretty excited about. Those are both his ideas, and something else that I think will be extremely beneficial to everybody in the prop space where it was his idea as well. So he does have great ideas. Some
that,
ideas are not great, but a lot of them, well, a good amount of them, I can say will be great.
that's what's up for real, for real. Um, so so what was because I know that well at least I think it would be. So what was the scariest part going from being a trader to becoming like a business owner in the trading space and not in a circle, but more over the prop firm, because those are two very different skill sets.
For sure, definitely. So the biggest thing, the kind of thing that I always wanted to stay away from, but it's something that I feel like we have a lot of control over now, is you hear so many times about these prop firms going out of business or not paying people out. and just creating a bad name for the prop firm itself. And if I'm attached to the prop firm, I've spent 10 years building my personal brand. I've spent 10 years building up who I am, Joovier, the name Joovier, what people think of when they think Joovier. So if I were to build a prop firm and it wasn't able to be sustainable to the point where we would have to shut it down and people wouldn't get paid out or people would be mad, that all tarnishes my name and the name that I've built for the last 10 years or so. So that was the scariest part. And this is kind of what I was telling Scalp a lot in the beginning. I was like, no matter what we do, we have to make it sustainable so that it will be able to pay people out all the time, right? Like I would come out of my own pocket to make sure people are paid out to protect my personal brand.
Absolutely.
That was the scariest part, essentially, was making sure that it was up to the standard that I'd want to have attached to my name and my brand.
Absolutely. I'm sure that had to have been a little scary moment. I mean, it's human nature. Like you said, 10 years of building up something, you don't want to tear it down in just a couple of months. Like that's crazy. But no, I get that. That is wow. So
Yeah.
I know the answer. Well, I have my own answer to this question, but what made you feel like you and Scalp would be great partners at doing this? Like what made you feel he was the right person?
Yeah.
Even though I know he pitched the idea, but I'm still, you still had to have, you know what I'm saying?
I've been pitched by a lot of people. I understand your question. So a few things. So my wife is a very good judge of character. Number one, and she felt very comfortable about it. Like I'm more so give people the benefit of the doubt type of person, but she's more so like, no, that person's horrible, or no, that is they don't have good intention, stuff like that. So she approved of it, which was a huge plus for me on that side. But then on the other side of it, we both have two different strengths. Like for me, he's very technical. He's very behind the scenes as far as being able to like the platform, the flow, like all that stuff that is him. I have nothing to do with that. Absolutely. I'm very good at business, right? I'm very good at marketing. I'm very good at positioning so that people understand the value and can see the value. So the fact that we both don't share the same strengths or share the same weaknesses, that was a huge benefit for me personally. And then also just knowing like there's so many things that we have going on behind the scenes that he has forefronted, and just his ambition that he has with the company itself was just something that I just knew would happen. So just somebody that would push it further than even I would have thought, or push it out in different ways that I would have never even thought.
Gotcha.
Somebody that I knew I wouldn't have to motivate, essentially, because I have had businesses before that I've had to leave where I had to motivate the other person to work. I had to motivate the other person to do the job that they are supposed to do, or the role that they're supposed to do. Yeah. So that's just a few things. Obviously praying about it and stuff like that as well was huge, but those are more tangible things that more people would understand.
Absolutely. That's what's up, man. Shout out to my big brother Scalp God, man, for real. Like I
hope
said,
he's not in here.
I
I've
knew the
given him
answer
too
to
many
that.
flowers.
Huh?
I said, I hope he's not in here. I've given him too many flowers this week.
But yeah, man, that's one thing about that brother, man. That, like I said, shout out to Scalp God, man. That brother, he inspires me, man. Just everything that he does, everything that like he shares a lot of stuff with me, and it's like how would I say, he keeps me knowing that I got to keep my feet on the ground running. You know what I mean? Like I can't just be standing still. You know what I mean? So that's a testament to your answer. You know what I mean? Like he's on it, man. And I love that. I love that about him. Like he gives up so much game. It's crazy.
Yeah. And another part that I didn't even mention. So again, I was never huge in the prop firm space, but he has ripped through prop firms. Like he knows every prop firm. He gets payouts from every prop firm.
Facts.
He's got banned from some prop firms for just making too much money from them. So he knows the prop firm game inside and out as well. Yes. And that wasn't something that I could say I knew not nearly as much as he did. So that was another huge benefit as well.
Yeah, that's definitely very true. And his IT background is impeccable. You know what I mean? Like you can't. That's how he and I connected. We both have the same IT background. Not the same. We have IT backgrounds in different spaces, but yeah, he's definitely a beast with that. I can see that marriage, meaning you with the marketing, with the business side. Not that he doesn't have any business side, because he definitely has a lot of business acumen, but also too, like you said, the back office, the ins and outs, all the platform stuff, all the IT stuff, like that. That is truly a good marriage. I can definitely see that, and it makes so much sense, so much
Yeah.
sense. So let me ask you this: what does success look like for a trader at the edge funder? What does success look like for them?
Yeah.
And I
So
mean, not just because it ain't an eval, so we can't say passing an eval. I mean, like,
yeah.
like, what do you think a success? How would a trader? Let me say it this way: how would a trader find success using using the edge funder?
Yeah. So actually a really good question, and one that we've kind of formulated. So the type of accounts we have, they force traders to be consistent traders
Absolutely.
versus trying to be lottery ticket traders. Meaning you can't come on here and try and make $300,000 in one trade. Same way you're not able to do that on your live account. If the rules that we have just essentially force you to be or help you become just consistent in the way that you trade and consistent in the payouts that you can get. So a successful trader on the edge funder, in my eyes, is a person that is able to not just get payouts, but when we have our traders and they get payouts and they're also able to replicate the same way they're trading on the edge funder on their then live account, that's a huge benefit. Because not only did they learn the consistency from the edge funder and train the edge funder account, they were able to get paid while they were learning it, and they sharpen their skills that allows them to just become a better trader overall just by trading, right? So that's in my eyes what a successful trader is with the edge funder.
Facts. Facts. I hope you guys are hearing that. So I always tell everyone consistency rules are not bad. I first started trading with Apex, and that was in 2024. That was before, I'm sure before TF was even an idea. And everyone complained about their rules, but because I was a newbie and I was green to the space, I didn't know there was Take Profit Trader. I didn't know there was Top Step. I didn't know there was other. My big brother Scalp turned me on to that. I went with Apex, and I never felt like the rules were,
Yeah.
too astringent, so to speak. You know what I mean? And I can honestly say, to a testament to what you just stated, those rules made me a consistent trader. They made me more disciplined than I was, because I was not disciplined at all, and that helped hone me. So everyone that's listening, understand that the rules are not there to make you stumble. They're there to hone you. They're there to sharpen your trading skill. They're there to make you better. So understand that, because I see sometimes a lot of complaints, like in the chat. We always see this all the time. It's like, I can only make 300 in my 50K account, or whatever it is. Yeah, that's all you can make. It's a consistency rule. It's a rule you have to follow. And I think that I'm glad you made that point, because a lot of us traders, especially ones on the call, and even anyone who may be listening to this as a recording, like, you need those rules. Those rules help you. Your psychology is way more important. Those rules are there to make you focus on being a process-driven trader and not a
Yeah.
profit-driven trader. So just understand that. They're not there to stumble you up. This ain't no scam thing. This is what's going to make you great at the end of the day. And I just hope
Yeah.
that
So, I
everyone
mean,
can just understand that.
yeah, and that circles back to what you had asked me before, and the answer I gave as far as what allowed me to kind of get profitable was having that system, having that structure in the way that you trade. And that was one of the huge benefits when I told you I started coming around to actually prop firms and thinking they were beneficial. That was one of the biggest benefits I saw in prop firms, is that they force people to be structured in a way that will allow for them to be able to copy that onto the way that they trade their live accounts.
Man, that's beautiful. That's one thing when that's one thing I think that makes TF stand out, is that you have a prop firm that was designed by traders for traders versus someone that's just trying to get in the business, just be a business side of a prop firm. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Just to make bread. You know what I mean? And I think that helped us immensely, more than anyone could even think, because I know everyone's mind is thinking other things, but that's just what I see, and that's how I always felt like TF was going to be great.